Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, let's talk big Coinbase listings, the Terra Luna ecosystem, and ZK rollups. How can we get those nice juicy airdrops? If you enjoy the content today, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out the pinned comment down below for my Patreon. So yesterday we were pretty much at the pits, 16 extreme fear in the market, and people were questioning, can we actually go any lower than this? It does have that funeral-esque atmosphere on Twitter. Well, the answer was not quite yet. We've peaked back up to around 25, still in extreme fear, but nonetheless, you've seen that extreme fear precedes a bit of a bounce and at least a relief rally for the Bitcoin price action. So let's just jump over to this. We can see these huge extended wicks due to cascading effects of liquidations here, but generally we have been able to sustain price above this region here. There's a lot of history around here, around 49K. We've had our candle body closes at around this region. So this has been a nice area of support now. We've got a little bit of a bounce over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin now up above 51K. But certainly not time to think we're going mega bullish at this point. There's still quite a lot of overhead resistances here, namely in the mid 50K region, even before we can start talking about the 60s and beyond. So certainly not out of the woods at this point, but it does seem to be a lot better than yesterday. And of course, the market sentiment has improved somewhat as well. And what about those altcoins? Well, we have seen quite a few rallies from some of them, which were greatly oversold during this last 24-hour period. So let's jump into some of the Coinbase news. There were a load of listings just yesterday. Covalent, IDEX, MCO2, not even sure what that is, PokerStar, Fox, and of course Spell and Super, two bags that I do own, and I'm sure some of you guys do as well. Trading will begin for these 9 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesday the 7th of December. So Spell and Super getting the Coinbase listings. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Both of these were kind of out of the blue. I did see a few calls on Twitter for this a little bit earlier, but these are definitely massive listings for both of these projects and really legitimizes them too. So this is the reaction from Danielle, of course, from Abracadbra Money, creator of the Spell token, Spell on Coinbase. Earlier in the day, he had posted this outrageous picture. I said bears were effed, and literally showing him doing that. So this gave me a bit of an inkling something was up, because during this period, that was 17 hours ago, the markets were still pretty much down. Spellcoin was very, very low. It was actually down here somewhere. And then of course, Coinbase listing comes in and we get a mega pump. So over a 24-hour period, Spell literally did a 2x in its price, which is a huge, huge recovery there. You can see these big Merlin candles, as they call them. A lot of bid coming in for the Spell token. It was severely oversold at that point, and now we're coming back up to prices we last saw at the end of November here. I've been purchasing my Spell here over on FTX. Definitely go ahead and check this out. FTX is an awesome exchange. Link down below if you would wish to sign yourselves up. Elio's reaction to the Superfarm announcement that it's on Coinbase, probably nothing, very understated here, but this would have been a huge moment for him to get your project listed on the biggest of exchanges, somewhere where all the retail come first, is a pretty outstanding feat. So big congrats to him. What happened to the Superfarm price action? Again, a big explosive move, $1.05 all the way up to $1.77, currently around the $1.60 region. Up around 50% over the last 24 hours. So a really nice healthy move there. It does show us as well that the Coinbase listings do have a positive effect on the market. Many were saying that this has a diminishing effect compared to what we've seen in previous years, but clearly there's still some big gains to be made if you can track these before they actually get the official listing. In addition to this, for Elio here, Neo Tokyo, his and Alex Becker's project had a final upload here. So Neo Tokyo identities, vault cards, cash items, and land could all be merged into one to create the new Neo Tokyo Citizen, one unique NFT. This is the current floor price for that NFT, 33 ETH. And then it jumps up to 36 and 40 and so on. If we just click in, we can see the actual profile pic behind it here. It's not about the profile pic. This is all about the community and the resources you can tap into with this. And these guys have various properties down here. And if we just scroll down again, if you go into levels, you can also see a reward rate, because these guys will be yielding bytes tokens. these are the tokens created from this experimental NFT project. So bytes essentially could be the currency of the metaverse if you believe Alex Becker and Elio and what they say. So pretty important stuff. Those NFTs yielding bytes on a daily basis mean a tremendous amount of passive income for holders of the Neo Tokyo Citizen NFTs. Say it was even just one a day is $86. I'm sure that'll be life-changing for many individuals. So a very big day yesterday for both Spell communities and Superfarm and the wider Elio Trades gang as well. Now a bit of Luna time. Nicholas Flamel here. The MIM and UST strategy has led to at least $428 million worth of Luna buy and burn since it went live barely 1 month ago. And his question here, how far can this scale? Can we get to $1 billion, $2 billion, $5 billion? Thoughts down below. And then he just posted this. Can't believe it didn't occur to me. Since the strategy uses wrapped UST, we can track the growth over on Etherscan. And we can see that this has now surpassed these levels, as these are contract addresses associated with this strategy. We got 337 million wrapped UST here, 114 here, and 97 million here. So around the $550 million region here, that means $550 million worth of Luna would have been burned in the creation of these UST tokens. So this is pretty epic stuff, and one of the first times we've seen a cross-chain strategy to generate yield on stablecoins. So essentially you deposit your UST here and then borrow MIM against it. You can lever this up to crazy levels if you are willing to take on a load of risk. Of course, none of this is risk-free. There's, of course, smart contract risk, but also the risk of these depegging from $1. And if you don't watch your liquidation price, say it's up at like 96, 97 cents, and one of these breaks peg badly, your capital would be liquidated. But you can get 16.5% on a position here, and you can, of course, start looping it round and round and round. And I've seen people suggesting you get safely north of 80% APY on stables without pushing the boat out too far and getting yourself too close to any potential liquidation prices. Of course, still many potential pitfalls to this strategy, so don't ape all your money into these kind of things. You'd want to maybe start off with a small amount, test it out, see if you're comfortable with it, and then build potentially from there. But a very good way to park some stable coins, get a loan against them, and generate even more stables. Full explainer over on the Abracadabra docs here. User deposits UST tokens into their cauldron, which is essentially the smart contracts, and either borrows MIM or leverages their position. They then bridge the UST from ETH, so wrapped UST, over to the Terra blockchain via a shuttle bridge. 85% of deposits are then used to be bridged over, and 15% are left on Ethereum mainnet for withdrawals, etc. They then utilize the Anchor protocol. Anchor is a lending platform, as we know, with very high interest on deposited tokens. You then get AUST, an interest-bearing version of UST. And from there, that AUST token gets bridged back to ETH mainnet, deposited into their degen box, and these tokens are then producing yield and distributed to users who have deposited UST on ETH mainnet. Of course, gas fees involved as well, but you can kind of see how the step-by-step process works for all of that. And it just is very innovative in this space. And that's why we're like both Do Kwon and Danny Siesta. These guys are pushing the boundaries in DeFi. So this is one of the main strategies, pushing forward the demand for UST. We can see this from this chart here. We've got a market cap of 8.3 billion for Terra's UST, and it's about to flip DAI maybe in the next week or so. $8.9 billion worth of DAI. The flipping is going to happen sooner rather than later, and then we're looking all eyes onto BUSD and staring up that chart, seeing who we're going to take down next. And all of this contributing directly to Luna burning. So just a super bullish ecosystem with amazing tokenomics. And then on a ZK rollup front here, Elio posted this: fully realized ZK rollups might be a while away. However, each narrative attracts seemingly legit cash grabs that do huge gains. I'll be gambling on some of these cash grabs, as he says, for 5 to 10 X's if they show up. These potentially aren't going to be real winners and are more high risk plays, but money can be made nonetheless. So do be aware of this. And then he asked for people to post some of the ZK tokens that are available on the market right now. So this guy posted a list here, notably missing Polygon. I think that will be the safest risk to reward you can take in this sector right now. So Polygonmatic, then a Loopring token, 2.8 billion in market cap, IMX, Immutable X, DYDX, Boba Network, and then we're down into more the DGen place, CTSI, 300 million market cap, Hermes Network with the HEZ token. This is one I picked up recently, 131 million market cap. I do believe this one is very legit. Then we have ZK Swaps here, 91 million market cap, DVF 67 and Root $27 million. On top of this, I did scout out a few more people were suggesting here. So if you want to check out these, of course, do your own research. Many of these may be, as he says, a little bit scammy and not the real deal holy fields. However, there could be a couple in here that do big numbers. So another one again is Dusk Network. I'm not suggesting go and buy this. I haven't done much due diligence on this, but this is another one that can be added to the ZK narrative. So Dusk Network had a big pump already today, and then ZK Tube here as well, up 26%. The fully diluted valuation on that is pretty enormous as well. So you may want to stay clear of these, but just a bit of food for thought for tokens people want to invest in this upcoming narrative of zero knowledge proofs. If you want to play it super safe, you can just go down the airdrop route. You're going to have to spend some Ethereum on gas, bridge some tokens over to the L2 mainnet, and have a real good play around over there, but potentially this can be highly lucrative. So here Odin put together a bit of a thread, and some of the pertinent facts are here. So this talks about farming potential airdrops. So the first place to come is here on zksync, wallet.zksync.io. So this is where you want to connect your Ethereum wallet and bridge some funds over to the L2 environment. I've seen Elliot suggest numerous times that just connecting your wallet may be enough, and potentially just bridging a small amount of funds to get the airdrop. But if you want to take this one step further, there are other things on the table. So Zigzag Exchange here is another DEX being built on the layer 2 environment. If you go and check that one out, connect your wallet, you have to sign a few transactions. It cost me $15 to do this. Then I sold a little bit of ETH on there, and then immediately just bought it back up, just to ensure that I have a transaction on that exchange registered. This one has not yet got a token, so I think there's a high probability chance that this will have a token in the future and a potential airdrop for participants. I just gone over this one, ZK Sync. This guy is also recommending that you go to Gitcoin grants as well, and maybe just give a little bit of ETH to a participant over there. Again, that's an additional step you may or may not have to do. We don't know what the parameters are for getting these airdrops, so it's all a bit of guesswork here. And then he's suggesting possibly minting some NFTs. Of course, it costs a fraction of mainnet cost on ETH by utilizing ZK Sync. The website for that, zknft.xyz. So potentially connecting up your wallet, just buying a very cheap NFT could be a way to get an airdrop there. Argent has a Starknet wallet as well. This is not yet released, and there is a waitlist over here. But again, if there are going to be rewards, it's typically for the early adopters. So getting yourself on this waitlist is probably a good way to go. And then finally down here, ibetyou.xyz. But I've seen a few people post about this for a potential airdrop. So again, worth doing some due diligence, seeing if this is something you want to do. There seems to be along the lines of putting down a bit of a wager and betting people to do a challenge. So again, all of this experimental stuff, but potential airdrops on the horizon. So why not connect a couple of burner wallets, for example, ones you haven't got huge amounts of funds in, having a little bit of a play around, and maybe in a few months' time will be nicely rewarded. So hopefully another informative episode here on the channel. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video, drop me a comment down below, check out the pinned comments as well, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.